Are you preparing for fantasy basketball draft season? If so, you're in the right place. In this episode, we will be conducting a 12-team mock draft on Yahoo. Welcome to Game Pick Fantasy Basketball. I am your host, Robin Marks. You can connect with me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Game Pick Podcast. If it's your first time here and you love fantasy sports, please consider subscribing to the channel. In this episode, we're going to be drafting from the seventh position, on Yahoo. So we're going to go ahead and just get you all ready for that. Actually, let's switch up here. We got two different things here. So we're going to get you all ready for that. We want to make sure that we draft from every single position for 12-team leagues, and then we will likely change up and do some bigger leagues. I want to do a 16-man league mock draft, but it's almost impossible to find that. So we're drafting from the seventh position here. But Yahoo recently adjusted their ADP, so I'm excited to test it out and see what kind of things have changed. From the looks of things, it seems as if Luka has dropped dramatically. Luka is he has an ADP or a rank of 15 and an X rank of 9. Oh shoot, do we have sound effects here? I hope not. Let me make sure I don't have sound effects up in here, because the last time I did one of these things, I had sound effects. I do not want that. We do not want the sound effects. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay, so with the first pick, we got my man Illmatic. What's up, Illmatic? Big shout out to Nas, Queensbridge. That's one of my favorite albums in the history of life. So let's go ahead and say that the Joker is off the board. Illmatic made a good decision. Next up, we have Mambo. Mambo is up. Kevin Durant is on the board. Joel Embiid, Trae Young, Steph Curry, Karl-Anthony Towns. I would go ahead and grab Giannis here, and he grabs Giannis. So he reached for Giannis, which I love, because Giannis should have been ranked a lot higher. The X rank is supposed expert rankings. Luka Doncic goes third. So again, that was a reach according to the projections. And that's just a note to you guys. Make sure that you have your own ranks in mind. I'm up in 2 picks. Joel Embiid just left the board at the fourth round, with the 4th pick, I should say. Then Steph Curry goes with the 5th pick. So we're coming up next. So we're going to be eyeing a couple of people. We're eyeing James Harden, Kevin Durant, Karl-Anthony Towns, Jason Tatum. I'm looking at Trae Young here, and I am drafting with a points league state of mind here. So some of the people in this draft might be drafting with a category head-to-head. Let's see what happens here. So Kevin Durant goes. So I have a lot of I am overwhelmed with the options, but I think Karl-Anthony Towns is getting undervalued in so many places because of the addition of Rudy Gobert. But I haven't drafted Trae Young at all. So I'm toiling between the two. I'm gonna just play it safe and grab my man Karl-Anthony Towns. So quick recap: we had Steph Curry at 5, Kevin Durant at 6, and Karl-Anthony Towns at 7. I love all of those picks. I think most of the leagues I've done on ESPN Sleeper, Steph Curry doesn't go that soon. So I'm really fascinated by seeing him go that early. Really also about this coffee. Let me get a sip. And if you wonder what slurp extra loud is, to make sure that the podcast audience can actually hear the joy of my coffee this early in the morning. So after Anthony Towns, we had Jason Tatum go off the board, which is late for Jason Tatum in most of the we've been doing. And then we have Trae Young going 9th, which makes a lot of sense. Then we have my man Sardar. What up, Sardar? I see you, man. Man, I love when people draft on Yahoo because people do not play. Then we have James the Beard Harden going at 10th. James Harden is undervalued. If you can grab, I would say in points leagues after the 6th or 7th pick in the first round, if he's still around, I would grab him. I would not let some would even say grab him earlier than that. You know what I'm saying? James Harden is still the man. He had a rough season, but even his bad seasons are someone's good seasons. LaMelo Ball, which I sometimes mistakenly call Lonzo Ball, goes next at 11th. We have Lonzo Ball at 11th. So a lot going on with Game Pick, guys. We are going to be taking on some new opportunities. As I've stated in previous live streams, we're going to be contributing to #basketball for their dynasty rankings. We're also now going to be partnering as a contributor for Owner's Box to promote and advocate for their Lightning lineup feature on their app. So we're really excited about that. And thank you for all of your support to help us get there. So after number 11 was LeBron James at 12, 13 Kyrie Irving. I love that pick. 14 Anthony Davis. Nope. 15 DeJounte Murray. Number 16 Damian Lillard. I would have taken him earlier. And then we got number 17 Cafe Azul. It looks like he's taking off, so he's auto drafting. Number 17 is Tyrese. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And Tyrese Halliburton is, listen, he's hyped up right now. And that's one thing that I would say about, this is not just for fantasy basketball. This is also for fantasy football. That offseason hype is real, y'all. That offseason hype is real. And it can actually put you in a funky position if you get so hyped about a player that you're like, yeah, Tyrese Halliburton. First round, I can see it now. And then he turns around and drops a deuce, then you're looking crazy because you spent that draft capital. If you're with us on the live, please do me a big favor and just drop a comment so I can shout you out. And and also maybe let me know where you're checking in from so I could big up your whole city. Let's go back over here so we don't get too fall behind on this recap. Then we have Devin Booker at the 18th pick. Then we have Darius Garland. I love that pick. And I love the Booker pick. And then we have Donovan Mitchell. Not so crazy about Donovan Mitchell in life. But in fantasy, I guess he's okay. I'll be okay with that. I'll be okay with that. And another thing that's worth noting is that if you decide to do a live stream at 5 a.m., 3 days a week, make sure your wife is all good with that. Okay, so we are up. We're on the clock. Let's get focused. So we got Bam Adebayo, Paul George, Domantas Sabonis, Anthony Edwards, Fred VanVleet, Ja Morant. Whoa, I have not drafted Ja there. I'm going to take Ja. I got to. We're thinking points league. Got to take Ja. The other guy I wanted there was Anthony Edwards, but I have a bunch of Anthony Edwards picks in these mock drafts. So I'm going to just stay away from Ant-Man this time. Typically, if I had to pick out of the two, that's hard, but I'm going to go with Ja for this particular draft. Okay. Okay. So let's do the recap. After Donovan Mitchell was DeMar DeRozan. Then we have Ja Morant. Then we have Bam Adebayo. Big shout out to Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo actually played basketball in high school against my high school that I went to. His school was Swansboro. So big shout out to Eastern North Carolina. Boom, boom, boom. Y'all know how we do. Pamela. And I think it's really important to note that, sometimes I have personal allegiance to players. So big shout out to Bam Adebayo. Next up is the 24th pick, Paul George. I think Paul George is going to have a great season this year. So I think that's a solid pick. Domantas Sabonis, he eats, he feasts. So I think for a points league especially, I think Domantas Sabonis is a great pick here. And I think in Sacramento, because they have kind of a poo-poo show over there, that he's going to have an opportunity to obviously contribute on a high level. Then we have number 27, finally, is Anthony Edwards. I would take Anthony Edwards at the top of the second round, middle of the second round. I would not let him fall here to the second to last pick of the second round. So I love the pick for the person who drafted him. I'm mad at the the other players like myself who passed on Anthony Edwards. Don't pass on Anthony Edwards in the second round, guys. Like, trust me, right now it seems like, oh, he might be a third round player. He is not a third round player. He is a second round player with first round upside. First round upside. And it goes, and honestly, it's within the range of outcomes that he may be a top 10 player. Bold prediction. Bold prediction. Okay, let's get back to the recap. We have, after Anthony Edwards, we have Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet. Then we have Jimmy Butler. Listen, guys, I know I ride Jimmy Butler, man. Like, guys, listen, I don't have anything against Jimmy Butler's hair. Like, first of all, I don't know if those are like, if that's synthetic hair, human hair, or what's happening, right? I don't have any problem with it, whatever it is. My mother was a hairdresser, so I'm all good with Jimmy Butler's appearance. I'm not going to hate on a man because of his appearance, right? He does TikToks. I do TikToks, man. I'm a grown-up that does TikToks. I get it, Jimmy. You sell coffee. Listen, I drink coffee. You hear that? I drink coffee. My issue with Jimmy Butler is in fantasy. I think Jimmy Butler is one of the best, most exciting, hard-nosed players in the NBA. I love Jimmy Butler, but I ain't drafting him for my fantasy team. Let me stop talking. Okay, here we go. I'm up. I got 27 seconds. I got Bradley Beal, Robert Williams, Vucevic, Zach LaVine, Miles Bridges, Jarrett Allen, Scotty Barnes, Zion Williamson, Kristaps Porzingis. Listen, I know I draft a lot of Zion Williamson. I draft a lot of Zion, and that will continue. Come on, big boy. Come on home. Come on home. Listen, people, if you can grab Zion Williamson in the third round and he stays healthy, that is the best gamble. That is literally the best gamble in fantasy basketball. Like, take the risk, jump out the window, take the leap, like, have some faith. His name is Zion, for crying out loud. And, listen, I could do a whole Zion train thing for the whole episode, but I'm not. I just want to say that give him a shot. Give him a shot. When healthy, he will be a game changer. Then we got some, I think we got some people smoking Wanderlust. Here we go. So recap, we have Fred VanVleet, then Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler with the great coffee, I might add. Then Pascal Siakam, Chris Paul. I'm okay with that. Kawhi Leonard. I know he can perform on an elite level, but I have too many concerns around him, and I've been burned too many times. I just won't. SGA is out with I want to say he's getting he has a sprained knee, so he's going later. Cade Cunningham goes next, 34. Then I grab Zion. Then Bradley Beal goes, and Bradley Beal, guys, the story of Bradley Beal is crazy. Like, Bradley Beal was one of the top performers in fantasy a few years ago, and now he's kind of stumbling into the fourth round. We're up again, so let's jump over here and see who we got. We got Kristaps Porzingis, Jonas Valanciunas, Miles Bridges, Alfred Schengen. Oh man, it's getting ugly over here already, man. So let's grab Scary Terry. I don't think I have much Scary Terry, and I think he's gonna eat this year. Oh shoot, did I get? Oh, there I go. Oh shoot, here we go. Oh God, I'm about to. Oh God, I don't believe it. Kristaps Porzingis. That's why you got to use your cue. I say it every week, and then I always make the same mistake. And you know what the thing is that when you start a live stream, especially me, I can't speak for everybody. Some people are way better than this in me. I am very fluid and natural. I kind of go with the flow. So with that said, I say it every week, guys, you have to use your cue. So when you're in your draft, Don't get all busy texting your friends who did what, being in the chat. What you need to do is focus in on who's coming up next. So that way, when your pick comes around, if you don't get the player that you were targeting and you get sniped by one of your, league mates, then you have backup option 2, backup option 3, sometimes backup option 4, and then the players that you want to bring up all the way from the bottom, have them stashed there as well. For example, Isaiah Jackson is someone I'm going to be targeting, so I'm going to have to pull him up because he's ranked in like the 200s or whatever, right? Shaden Sharp from Portland, another player. So just be mindful of that. Kristaps Porzingis. Ooh, I'm so pissed about that. Damn, I wanted Terry Rozier. Anyway, so let's go back to the recap. We were up to Bradley Beal, Robert Williams. I'm not feeling that pick. He is out. Vucevic, Jaylen Brown. Okay. Mobley, yes. Zach LaVine, yes. Chris Middleton, maybe. DeAndre Ayton, maybe. Drew Holiday, yes. Scotty Barnes, yes. Brandon Ingram, yes. I'm up again. Here we go. We got Maxey, Russell, Miles Bridges, Pirtle, Alperen Şengün, Wendell Carter Jr., Capella, Franz Wagner. I actually am interested in Tyrese Maxey these days. I'm going to go ahead and grab Tyrese Maxey. Really interested to see what he does. I think he takes another leap. I'm excited to see what he does. After this thing just keeps scrolling back up. Give me a break, please. We had oh my God, this thing, it's impossible for me to do my recap. What can I live? Jeez Louise. Let me do my recap. What the heck is up with y'all? All right. So we had Drew Holiday, yes. This thing just won't let me do my recap. Why does it keep scrolling back up? Can a brother live? Jeez Louise. They're just all over me, man. It's like going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then my next pick is up. You know what? I'll come back to the recap later, guys, because I need to not draft another Kristaps Porzingis. Next up, I'm going to be eyeing Franz Wagner. Put him in my queue. Oh, Isaiah Jackson, they moved up. Wow. Isaiah Jackson he's ranked up to 85 now. That is interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to grab Franz. I think he had a really good summer playing in the summer league. So, I'm just interested to see what he does this year. I know with Banchero there are some concerns. Will there be enough usage available for him to actually, be a contributor, a high-level contributor, I should say. So, but for me, Franz Wagner, like, he passes the eye test, and I had an opportunity to watch him a couple of seasons. So I'm looking at, and I'm looking at Franz Wagner as a player who is due for a leap and a jump. So that's why I would jump on Franz Wagner if I could. Okay. I'm going to attempt again to do my recap because you guys know how I feel about recaps. And it's something that I just am trying my best to do. But this daggone app won't let me do it because it's like scrolling for me. It's like giving me all kinds of crap. So I did Drew Holidays, Scotty Barnes, Ingram, Turner. Shish kebabs. Lord, give me the strength. What? Yahoo they don't want you to do that at Yahoo. They don't want you to look at your daggone, they don't want you to look at your past draft, who got drafted, the history. Keegan Murray's here, Marcus Smart, Russell Westbrook, Devin Vassell, Jabari Smith. You know what? Anthony Simons. I'm going to grab Anthony Simons. I love Anthony Simons. I don't know if I love Anthony Simons in the 7th, but Yahoo's adjusted rankings, it's really throwing me off from what I've been seeing, but I love that. That's why it's important to come with your actual rankings so that way you can be prepared for what you believe is the best decision, best course of action. So I might throw the recap out of the window, man. Like, this is wiggity whack, yo. Like, y'all are killing me here. Look, I'm going to scroll. I don't know if you guys can see this. Look over here in this corner over here. I'm scrolling up, And as I scroll up, it just like dips down. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go from the bottom up. No, I'm not. That's stupid, Robin. Just stick to your game plan. Don't let this silly Yahoo stuff mess with you. Okay, so let's go from 47th Turner, 48th Allen, 49th Fox, 50th Porzingis, 51st Valachunas. Then we have McCullum, Giddy, Anunoby, Thompson, Rozier, Wood, Bain, Collins, Brunson, Nurkic, Banchero, Maxey, Russell. Shish kebab. I'm up again. We got Kyle Kuzma, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, Robert Covington, Onyeka Okongwu, Miles Bridges, Nick Claxton. Love it. Man, they moved Nick Claxton all the way up. Shoot. This is crazy. I'm gonna grab old Nicky. I really want to get some Nick Claxton stock. I'm up on that. So after we had, oh well, let's go back in time and we can see who was drafted. 63rd was 63rd was Maxey Russell. Shish kebabs is giving me all kinds of headaches. Russell, Poole, Bridges, Pirtle, Şengün, Harris, Porter Jr., Randall, Green, Smith, Murray, Carter Jr., Wendell Carter Jr., Keldon Johnson, Capella, Franz Wagner, Green, Draymond, that is, Grant, Bay, Hero, Jackson Jr., Zubac, Beal. Oh, shish kebab. This is one complaining, daggone episode, man. But what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Ben Simmons, Robinson, Bamba, Isaiah Jackson, love that. Herbert Jones, Simons, Murray, Smart, Ball, Wiggins, Vassell, Westbrook, Washington, Smith Jr., Clark, Sexton, Stewart, Trent Jr., Portis, Lowry, Claxton, Horford, Kuzma, Wall, Hayward, Barrett, Covington, Okongwu, Brogdon, Porter Jr., Marketing, Miles Bridges. Don't draft Miles Bridges. Josh Hart. I think I'm all caught up. Now I'm back. I got a Hartenstein, Cole Anthony, Trey Jones, Bruce Bowen. Oh my God. This is gross. I'm not feeling this. I'm gonna grab Jaden Ivey, man. This might be the only opportunity. Just go ahead and grab him. Just grab him. Just grab him. Typically, I would, or in previous drafts, I've been drafting Jaden Ivey way later, and Paolo Banchero way later. But yo, Yahoo is shaking it up. Way to get your rankings changed, man. I don't know if I agree with all of them. I'd have to deep dive, but good job. Way to keep the mock drafters on their toes, man. I feel like a daggone ballerina. So after Josh Hart was Jaden Ivey. I'm sorry, after Miles Bridges was Josh Hart, then we had Jaden Ivey, Hartenstein, Vanderbilt, McDaniels, and then Jones. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Jones from San Antonio. Let's see what he does. I haven't had an opportunity to watch him play, so I haven't drafted him at all in mocks, but wouldn't be against it by the time the season rolls around. And next up, we have, after Trey Jones, is Precious Achua, Brooke Lopez, Morris, Fultz, Adams. That's where we are right now. I just want to take a quick check how many slots we got left. So I got about 4 slots left. So it's going to be scary hours now. These picks at this time, you got to really dig. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can grab my man Sharp, throw him in my queue. I grab him every time. Like, I'm not playing any games. I think that if he plays, it could be a game changer. And then we're going to look at who we got next. So we got Cole Anthony, who I like here, Mike Conley, Aaron Gordon, Bruce Bowen, Norman Powell, Spencer Dinwiddie, Lugan Dortz, the Bogdanovich guys, Bogdan and Bojan. I'm going to go ahead and grab Cole Anthony. Next up, after Cole Anthony, we had Mike Conley, JaVale McGee. I'm going to go ahead and fill up my queue with some guys. I'd be interested in Spencer Dinwiddie. I'd also be interested in Karis LeVert here. Bones Highland, I'd be interested in here. Also would take a shot at Gary Payton Jr. Also, Jalen Duren from Detroit, I would take a shot at. Evan Fournier at this point of a draft, I would consider specifically for his 3-point production. Super valuable when it comes to that. Rashawn Holmes. Oh, baby. If I can grab Rashawn Holmes in the 13th round, Pilgrim. If I could grab me some Rashawn Holmes, it would be absolutely awesome. Absolutely. My pick is three picks away. I'm coming up. Here we go. So let's check out the queue. So I got a bunch of interesting things here, including one Karis LeVert, but I've seen that movie before. I've seen that movie, and I know how it's going to end. I'm going to go with my man Bones. Let's go Bones, man. We're not playing. Let's go. We're going guard heavy, man. Guard heavy. And somebody asked me the other day on the YouTube if I was concerned about, not filling out my starting five before, during my draft and like figuring that out later. And I typically don't draft like that. I don't draft like, let me fill my first 5 spots and then go from there, or my starting spots, I should say. So no, I just draft, man. I just try to grab the best players available. Miles Bridges and value, the best value. So let's do that recap real quick. We had Bridges, Hart, Ivy, Hardenstein. Shish kebab. Oh, people are just leaving the daggone draft. Y'all just gonna leave the draft in the middle of the draft? I can't do what I need to do if you do that. Shoot, man. People like just all about themselves. Come on, man. It's a freaking community. What's wrong with you people? Anyway, I'm gonna kind of let that roll because it's happening so fast. I'll do the recap right at the end here. So yeah, like for example, when I'm drafting, I'm not trying to focus on making sure my starting lineup is set, right? Like I'm more focused on what kind of value can I get, who's dropping, or who do I project, that is way higher right now or lower, I should say, and sneak and grab them because the platform that I chose is ranking them a lot lower than where they should be. So that's kind of how I figure that out, and it's worked for me over the years, and it's worked for folks in my community last year because we just started Game Pick in October of 2021, and since then we got people sharing their pictures of their championships and the whole 9 yards, which is really, really fun. So I'm hoping that you'll be one of the next people to do that. Next pick. It's again, these are scary hours. This is scary time. Only 2 picks left. For me, I'm taking shots on rookies. I'm gonna go with Jalen Duren here from Detroit. And then my last pick is gonna be Shaden Sharp. I'm gonna queue him up. Actually, let's see. If Rashawn Holmes is on, I'm going to grab Rashawn Holmes, actually. If Rashawn Holmes is still available, I'll grab Rashawn Holmes. Another, I didn't queue up Evan Fournier, but I'll only have one more pick, so I won't do that. Another thing to be mindful of, make sure that in your later rounds, right? I'm talking like the last 2 or 3 rounds, make sure you swing for the fences and grab you a couple of rookies. If you didn't grab any rookies earlier, like if you didn't reach for Banchero or you didn't get Jaden Ivey, any of these guys, I would definitely make it a priority for your last 2 picks to reserve and queue up a few rookies and just swing for the fences, because the upside, like, we don't know who they are yet, right? We see them in college, we see them in summer league, and then they get into the league and then they become who they are. And always remember that rookies typically start slow. Cade Cunningham, people were dropping Cade Cunningham in some of I have an 8-man dynasty league. I think somebody dropped him. They dropped Cade Cunningham. Like, okay, I'll take him because he sucked for the first couple of weeks of the season. And that's going to happen with rookies. You have to expect, if you draft a rookie, that they're not going to produce the first week. Leave them at the bottom of your bench. Sit tight. Be patient. Do not drop your rookies and draft them in the last 2 rounds of your draft. Yeah. All right. So we are coming. Oh, shoot. Can I do a recap here? Oh, I'm up. That's why. Duh. Drafting Rashawn Holmes. And then we might be able to do our late round recap here. Maybe, if they don't just throw my final draft, my final mock draft team up on the board here. What the heck? Okay. So we did, where were we? We were right up around, I want to say, I don't remember saying some of these names. I think we stopped at about Ivy, right? We did Hart, and then I drafted Ivy. So then we had Hart. After Ivy, we had Hartenstein, Vanderbilt, McDaniels, Jones, Achua. No, I said Achua, but we'll do it again. Lopez, Morris, Fultz, Adams, Johnson, Cameron Johnson, that is. Finney Smith, Gafford, Wiseman, Barnes, Cole Anthony. I drafted him. Woo-hoo. Conley, McGee, Dinwiddie, Kevin Love, Aubrey Jr., Gordon, Reggie Jackson, Boucher, Brown, Drummond, Powell, Williams, Highland. I drafted him. Woo-woo. Melton, Brooks. Don't like Dylan Brooks. Dort, Clarkson. Love Clarkson. Strus, Bogdanovich, the back-to-back. Bogdanovich, BBBBB. Levert, Duarte, Eason, Kuminga, Isaac, Hunter, Suggs, Durant. I picked him. Woo-woo. Bryant. Thomas Bryant, that is. Shoot, this thing is still scrolling like crazy. White, Tate, Mathurin, Harris, Herter, Peyton II, Hachimura, Curry, Seth, that is. Seth, Fournier, Mitchell, Davion, that is. Barton, Holmes, Anderson, Thibault, Caldwell Pope, Looney, Collins, Monk, Jones. All right. Can I see my freaking team? Now, I would like one of those screens that they do on ESPN where they kind of put your whole team up there. That's not happening here. So I'm going to just go through the side here. If someone knows how to do that here, let me know, because I would like to do that. Let me just go through my team. I'm not going to go through based on picks. I'm going to go through just based on position. So my point guard, John Morant, not mad at that. My 2 guard, Tyrese Maxey. That's okay. My 3rd guard, Anthony Simons. That's okay. Franz Wagner, small forward. Love that. He also has eligibility, positional eligibility for small forward and power forward. That's another thing you want to do in your draft. See if you can find those guys who can play multiple positions. Karl Anthony Towns, who is now eligible at power forward, y'all. Karl Anthony Towns is eligible at power forward, y'all. I got Karl Anthony Towns as my power forward. He can also play center. Zion Williamson at my other forward. Kristaps Porzingis. Man, let me listen, guys. Fill your queue, man. Stop messing around texting your friends in the middle of your draft, or you're going to end up like me with Kristaps Porzingis. Oh, man. I mean, and he might produce if he stays healthy. Like, he is for real. Like, he's a for real fantasy player. So, like, I'm not knocking him. And also, I like Kristaps Porzingis, but come on, man. I'm not trying to be drafting him in my mock drafts, man. I got a reputation uphold. Nick Claxton is my backup center. Love that. Jaden Ivey, my first utility player. Cole Anthony, my other utility player. Then I have a few bench guys. I have Bones Highland, Duran, and Rashawn Holmes. And that concludes my mock draft. Super hyped about it. And also not very happy about a couple of picks. Honestly, not my best work. And I'm a little disappointed. But you know what I'm not disappointed about? And I'm actually really excited about this episode being brought to you by Owner's Box. It's a one-of-a-kind fantasy sports format called Lightning Lineups that they just launched. It's brand new. Please check it out. All you have to do is spin, pick, and win. Let me explain. The game is super simple. All you have to do is pick the lineup that you think will score the most fantasy points. When you start the game, you'll see 3 sets of lineups with 3 players each. If you don't like the options presented to you, pick brand new lineups by spinning the Lightning Lineups button. You can spin as many times as you want until you find the team that you like. After you pick your lineup, you can even add more lineups to increase your payouts. Finally, choose your desired entry amount and watch live as your team racks up points. It's as easy as spin, pick, win. Sign up right now and use the promo code GamePickPodcast. Owner's Box will match your first deposit. Get ready, up to $500. Yes, Owner's Box will match your first deposit up to $500. This is one of the largest deposit matches in the industry. Do not miss out. To sign up, just download the Owner's Box app on Android or iOS. And don't forget to use the promo code GamePickPodcast. Now, before we go, I want to take time to shout out a few of the newer members to our Discord community. So I'm going to just quickly take a look at that so I could shout them out. It's been amazing how the community is growing, and I'm just super grateful for all of you guys. So our most recent addition to the fam is my man Moham, and that's Mohammeda Isla. That's a great name, by the way. Next up, we have the Lion. Big shout out the Lion. Then we have Johnny M.A. Johnny M.A., thank you so much for joining us. On September 17th, we had Mr. Vaughn join us. Welcome, Mr. Vaughn. On the 16th, we had Dutt, D-U-T-T, Dutt. Big shout out to Dutt. And then on the 14th, we had one of my favorite basketball players, Franz Wagner. I'm joking. This is Franz R10, joined us on the 14th. Also, Colonel joined us on the 14th. Big shout out to Luke. Luke joined us on the 12th. We had Shad, S-H-A-D, join us on the 11th. Big shout out to Chad. Then we had Chris T, Aiden J. We have L. Ron Axe 38. We have Siam Bum, Booker, Z-Bird 33, Tyler 11, Jax 2, Nas 1 of 1. We have Sarah BH 1997 MK. And of course, we have Hatch Dozier. If I did not give you a shout out and you are in the Discord group and you want a shout out next week, just shoot me a DM and I'll make sure that we do that. While it comes to mind, big shout out to my man Playoff Steph, who is super active in our community. Also, my man David Vega. Super, super grateful for you guys. Now, listen. If you have an idea for a future episode, please do me a favor and drop a comment and let me know. Also, please join the Discord server if you need help with waiver pickups, trades, you want us to rate your team, you have dynasty questions, if you want a name for your team, you need team names, the works, whatever you need, fantasy related, this is the place. All you have to do is hit the link in the description of this episode. Don't forget to bang on that subscribe button and hit us with a thumbs up. And leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. While you're at it, you can follow us on Spotify. And don't forget, play the waivers, set your lineups, and check out the next video, you freaking fantasy nerd.